I'd like to call this meeting of the Fountain Inn Planning Commission to order this 18th day of September here at 300 Wall Street. Before we begin our meeting tonight, I'm going to ask for Mr. Knudsen to call roll and determine a quorum.
Commissioner McCraw, Commissioner Armstrong, Commissioner Flint.
Can I ask you to wait for just a second?
Yep. Hey. We can start over. You're fine.
Life happens. At 6, so it's like trying to switch over with parents is hard. Sorry.
Let's try roll call and quorum again.
Commissioner McCraw,
Present.
Commissioner Armstrong, Commissioner Flint, Commissioner DeRoberts,
Here.
Commissioner Pease,
Present.
Commissioner Ellisor,
Present.
and Chairman Stoddard.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thanks, sir. First item on the agenda tonight is approval of our commission meetings from our July 17th meeting. Do I have a motion that we approve these minutes?
I'll make that motion for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by uplifting a hand, we'll consider these minutes approved. Tonight, our first item on the docket was PZ 2025-02, but the applicant is stuck in a really bad wreck. Oh, he is here. Well, this is fantastic. So I guess we will not be moving this agenda item. Our first item on the docket tonight is PZ 2025-02. We'll hear from staff.
Timing's everything. Okay, so what we have before us this evening is an aerial here, 418 is kind of from your bottom left to your top right, with Main Street or 14 kind of bisecting the other way. Currently, this is the Holly Oak, owned by Holly Oak as part of their operations. What we're looking at tonight, just kind of get a little zoning idea here. Currently, it's industrial with a small bit in the corner being C2 commercial. And what's being requested is, it's kind of hard to see here. See if I can, there we go. If you can see my cursor, this top corner piece and then this corner piece here are the two pieces that we're looking at for a rezoning to the C2 commercial district from the I1 industrial district. The rest of the property will remain as it is zoned.
Okay. Any questions for staff? Hearing none, we'll open the floor up to our applicant, Randall Bentley.
I left my office downtown at 5 o'clock, and the parking lot, at 385 is a parking lot, so I apologize for being late. I appreciate your time, appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. Let me share with you, and I'll be brief. My wife had knee surgery this morning, and I just got her home at 3, so I probably should be there nursing her at the moment, but here I am. So let me share with you what we're requesting and why. This is not my day. Okay, so I want to tell you just for a moment, take just 1 second to tell you this is a little bit of a bigger picture that's been unfolding for a while. So Holly Oak Chemical owns this property, as they did the property where we might all know as the blue building on McCarter Road. And we were fortunate enough to work on that for about 2 years, and that culminated with Prisma buying that 40 acres of land. And so I am a native of this town. This is my home. I've been in Greenville for about 41 years in the commercial real estate business, but my brother lives here, my sister lives here, and this is our stomping grounds. So anyway, to see this unfold has been awesome. We were fortunate to get the hospital system to commit to this property and buy it, and of course, they are out to bids right now, so it is going to happen. And I think the guy that's going to be running that hospital is already located here. So these are things that have been unfolding. Right now, the main property that's there now, there's about 24 acres here total. There's an industrial building that's 109,000 square feet, and there's a tenant in that building and with a lease. So that has to remain in that position while that lease is running out. We will be back to you to make all of this commercial at some point. But right now, we need to focus on these two, which will be opening up and sort of setting the stage for the next step. So with these two pieces, the first piece is sort of the central point up in the corner at Main and McCarter. We have some prospects for that, but we don't have a user yet. We understand it's an important corner for this town, and we will be sure that it's something that everybody in this room is proud of. On the other corner of Nash and McCarter, we have a 6-unit retail center planned, and that building will face Nash Street. And it will sort of look into the hospital site, and as you know, Wendy's is under construction. I'm not sure they've opened yet, but that is happening, and that was all part of a property that the Cashins owned and that we sold to Wendy's. So we have we have 2 commitments at the moment for out of the 6 units, and I think everybody would be pleased. We have interest on the larger parcel. We are not in a position to disclose what that is, and I would bet my boots that everybody in this town would be glad to see what we're working on to try to bring here, and we have made progress over the last 90 days. So that's what I can share with you at this point. We have a site plan, I think. Do you have that site plan to show them?
We have the survey for you tonight.
Oh, okay. You do or don't?
We do not have.
You do not, okay. Well, we have submitted the site plan. The city knows what the plan is. And it will be a very stepped-up look. If you're familiar with the coffee shop, and I never can remember the name, at Woodruff and 14, Summer Moon or something? If you're familiar with that, we're going after that concept, that look, because we understand this is a key to Fountain Inn now and to its growth. And so we're going to step the quality up just a touch, because it will go in with the rest of the things that we're looking for. So with that said, I'm glad to answer any questions you have.
Any questions from the commission for Mr. Bentley?
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Yeah, in theory, I have really no problems with this proposal. But has anybody considered the traffic flow? How are you going to get in and out, on and off of these lots? I mean, you mentioned that the parcel on Nash is going to front to Nash, so I assume there's going to be an entrance. But are you going to try and put an entrance on 418?
There will be a shared entrance for the whole property off of McCarter, and then there will be entrance off of Nash as well.
Similar to what the Wendy's did?
Similar, yes.
Yeah. And then
we will have to, by the way, just so you know, our friends at the DOT control the world.
Sure.
Because they control the gold.
Understood.
And so our entrance into the entire property will be shared, but it'll have to line up with Wendy's, and that's just a requirement that they have. Whoever's first, you have to line up with them, and you have to work your whole development around them.
Well, that was kind of my next question on the parcel B, I think it is, up on Main Street and 418 there.
Yes, sir.
You have the railroad easement on one side, then you got the power line easement cutting across the front of the property there. What's the egress and access?
The same situation. So the DOT considers what curb cuts you already have.
Right.
But they also look at your total development. So there will be shared driveways that will provide access to the corner as well as to the balance of the site.
So I noticed there seems to be a driveway off of South Main Street, but it wasn't labeled on the plan here. That seems to access that parcel. Is that going to be used?
Mr. Tyler? So Tyler is with Blue Water Engineering, and he's the engineer that's working on this. He can speak to that. We thought we had the site plan to show you the corner here, but up there not, but maybe you can speak to that.
Tyler Furst with Blue Water Civil. Could you repeat the question one more time, Mr.
Just
Reese?
on the parcel that fronts on South Main Street and 418, do you plan on entrances from both sides? And if so, I don't know if you have to get easements from the railway? There seems to be a driveway across the railroad tracks there.
If there's the driveway across the railroad tracks that we will be utilizing, we surely will be required to work with the railroad easement and get an access easement to cross. Right now, we're not positive whether we actually would keep that driveway or not, so we'll figure that out when we get into more detailed design. But yes, we would be required to get easements from both Duke, I'm assuming those are Duke power
Yes, they
lines,
are.
if we had a driveway cross that, and the rail access easement if we were going to cross the driveway.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is, it's probably getting a little ahead of the game, but that's such a, excuse me, the traffic is such a challenge in that area, and I'll try to be nice about that, that it,
So,
but, you know, I'm just curious as to how you were going to try to get on and off site, that's all.
I would want to comment on that. So where you see the 14 number up there, that is a driveway, and that driveway has been there for at least 35 or 40 years.
Right.
When you start redeveloping a site and you start getting to have conversations with DOT, again, they control the cards. So all those things come into play. And as far as traffic that you're speaking to that's on McCarter, right now, all those that plan has to be submitted to DOT. And they're the guys that will tell
Right.
you, they won't ask you what you want to do, they'll tell you what you have to do.
Right.
And so that's why we have somebody like Blue Water, because they're no, this is not their first rodeo.
Right, I was trying to figure out how you would align those intersections, but there are a couple of driveways across the street you'd probably have to line.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right, no, thank you, appreciate that.
Just one more comment on the traffic also. We haven't actually applied for any encroachment permits yet, so we don't know this for a fact yet. But one thing is, if these developments hit certain thresholds with the DOT, we'll be required as part of that encroachment permit to get a traffic study done, which may result in mitigations like turn lanes or traffic lights, or no mitigations depending on what the study reveals. If there is traffic issues out here, like you've said, I imagine there may be some mitigation that we would find out through the traffic study.
Yeah, I don't know if any of these would be big enough to trip those thresholds, but I'm sure you'll go through the process.
Well, to put your mind at ease just a touch, they look holistically at this. So even though we're going to do this one development, it'll be a little ahead of everything. When we go to them, they will look at the entire 25 acres. They will not just look at this piece by piece. But what we do and what Blue Water knows is what they sort of generally require, and they won't driveways so far off of an intersection and so forth and so on. So, yes, until we submit a plan to them, we can't know exactly, but we know that's coming.
All right, thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, sir. Any other questions for our applicant? Thank you both. We appreciate it. Thanks. At this time, I'm going to open up the floor for public comment for this specific agenda item. If you come up to speak, please make sure you state your name and your address, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. So I'll now open the floor for this agenda item. Seeing none, I'll close the floor for public comment. We will hear staff's recommendation.
So our comprehensive plan indicates this parcel should be a commercial mixed use, which is exactly what is being proposed to you tonight. So we do have support of our own planning documents. Looking at the current zoning and uses that are in this area, staff does recommend approval this evening.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions, discussion from the commission on this agenda item?
No, sir.
Hearing none, do I have a motion that the Planning Commission recommend approval of PZ-2025-02 as presented?
So moved.
I will make the second. All those in favor by uplifting a hand? All those opposed? Ayes have it. Next item on the agenda tonight is docket number PZ-2025-03. We'll hear from staff.
So this is another rezoning, kind of give you an idea where this is. It's kind of next to the old Hardee's on Fairview. It does stretch the two parcels here from front to back. It does hit Georgia Street as well. Currently, the use or the previous use was a forklift parts and supplier. And what's being requested tonight, that this be rezoned from a commercial district to the S1 service district. And just to give you a little bit of insight, so those service districts are really supposed to be a transition between commercial and industrial districts and allow commercial uses that are service-related commercial uses. It tends to be wholesalers, warehousing, those type of services and things. If you look at the zoning map of what's currently in this area, you do have predominantly C2 to the west. Immediately to its east is an S1, which is being built currently. It is under construction. And then to the north is industrial, and then predominantly to the south is the terrible interchange there. But tonight's being requested for this to be an S1 district.
Thank you. Any questions for staff here at this venture?
I just had one quick one for Jason. Is Chevy Drive, is that a full right-of-way, even though it's not developed?
No, that road terminates.
I know the pavement ends,
And-
but does the right-of-way keep going?
So there is an access easement that is established from one side to the other. As Pump South, that's the person who's building on the S1. Their latest plat recorded shows property lines that do absorb some of that, but the access easement stays intact.
Okay, so there is an easement for,
But currently, it is not an actual through.
right.
Is there any plans to continue Chevy Drive as a whole across this property?
Not by the city.
City maintained road though, right?
Well, it's not, it's not really a road. It's a footpath. Yeah,
Not,
yeah,
okay.
it's not in our system. It's not
All I needed to know.
maintained. Yeah,
Okay.
you couldn't drive through there.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions for staff? Hearing none, we'll open the floor to our applicant, Justin Bentley.
Hey, I'm Brian Atkins. I actually am the purchaser over there. So we're Industrial Power Corp. Our place is right next door. We have outgrown that lot. I've lived here quite a while. I live down on Weston Street, and every time I get off the interstate, and look at that place there, it's kind of rough looking right now. So for us, this is an opportunity to move to a facility that better suits where we are and make an impact aesthetically, I believe a positive impact as soon as you get off the interstate coming into the city. So that's
For
where we are.
everyone's edification, could you explain what IPCO is?
We're an industrial electrical contractor.
Okay, thank you. I assume you're gonna put a building on the site. Is the buil-
It has an existing building, actually. We'll be.
You gonna keep that existing?
Yes, sir. We'll be
Okay.
renovating that building.
Okay.
We're S1 fits for the service that we provide.
Is there gonna be any kind of retail out of that building, or is
No,
it just for
no.
your business?
It's just for the business.
Just for business, okay. Any other questions for the applicant?
Are you needing it to be S1 just to have a lay-down yard? Why is it not C2?
Why is our business not C2? Our business doesn't actually fit into the C2
Oh,
verbiage.
okay.
Could you explain that, Jason? A little further?
So, especially if you start doing lay-down yards and things, those tend to pull you out of the C2 district, more into what the purpose of this service district is. So they're not quite industrial, they're not needing big, machines and all these things going on, but they need a little bit more space and a little bit more flexibility than the C2 commercial district's gonna give them.
We will have a lay-down yard, so that is part of
Yeah.
our inventory, is part of our operation.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? Hearing none, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna open the floor for public comment for this agenda item. Seeing none, we will close the floor for public comment for this agenda item. We'll hear staff's recommendation.
Once again, comprehensive plan indicates this area as well to be commercial mixed use, which is a mix of from housing to service to commercial. As we saw in the zoning district, we've got housing to the east, we've got industrial to the north, we've got commercial to the west, and so now we've kind of got our central area of some service. So it does fit in with our comprehensive plan, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion from the commission or further questions for staff? Okay, seeing none, I'd like to make the motion that the Planning Commission recommend approval of PZ-2025-03 as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor by uplifting a hand? All those opposed? Ayes have it. We'll move on to our last agenda item of the night. This is docket number TX-2025-01. We'll hear from staff.
Okay. So this is a little different than you've probably seen an amendment in the past. So it was brought up to council during their regular held meeting last Thursday. Mayor had proposed an amendment to the zoning ordinance, especially for the home occupation portion. And what has been changed is some verbiage has been added that specifically states, for the purpose of this section, products grown naturally, including but not limited to vegetation and/or animal products shall not be supplies. The way the ordinance currently reads, home occupation, pretty much nothing that is involved with that occupation can be outside. So that includes if you were to have naturally grown produce, or in this case, this stemmed from an home occupation for flowers. The way the ordinance reads, you cannot do that. And so it's been proposed, and it's gone to council for first reading, which it was unanimously voted to pass. It's now coming to the Planning Commission for your review before it goes back to the council for their second and final reading.
I have a couple questions on this.
Sure.
What has driven this text amendment?
Home occupation that was denied.
She was selling cut flowers from a garden.
So that was the one exclusive reason to call out exactly what supplies were?
So I don't want to speak for mayor or council. There could have been numerous things that they've heard over time, and this was kind of the final thing, like, wait, we got to change this. So I can't specifically point to
So
this.
if we were to pass this text amendment, how, trying to phrase this question appropriately, for people that are non-conforming, is there going to be a buffer period in which they are notified that they are non-conforming and have an opportunity to rectify the situation?
So this would not create any nonconformities. It would open an avenue for people to, for different types of home occupations that would have been denied in the past, could go forward now. Since I've been here, this is the first one that's really kind of come to this.
Am I misreading what we're changing in this text amendment here?
So instead of saying pretty much nothing can be outside, we're now going to allow for naturally grown, products grown naturally.
Oh, you're excluding those from supplies is what you're doing?
Yes.
Oh.
So we're
Thank you.
opening the ordinance a little bit more than what it is now.
And this is an addition. It's not a real modification. It's a modification to some of the language, but it's an
Right, we're
addition.
not removing or modifying any existing language. We're just
Clarification.
adding language.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Any other questions for staff? Okay. I'm going to open the floor for public comment for this agenda item. Seeing none, I will close the floor for public comment, and once again, we'll hear staff's recommendation.
Yeah. So definitely with kind of what Fountain Inn is and the things that we promote, staff supports the text amendment to allow for these things to be done. It's quite common for people, especially to want to maybe have something, like a little bit of produce, or let's just say eggs, if we allow chickens. So they can sell those as a little thing on the side, participate in farmers markets, those type of things. So at this point, staff supports the text amendment.
Okay. Any other discussion from the commission? Any other questions? Anything like that? Okay. Do I have a motion that the Planning Commission approve the code text amendments as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor by uplifting a hand? All those opposed? Ayes have it. Seeing no other items on our agenda tonight, do I have a motion that we adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I will make the second. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not quite sure what the proper forum is or how I go about this, but I'm here to inquire as to what the status of the Quail Run development is.
Yes, ma'am. We can answer some questions for you after the meeting is adjourned. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. We have a motion and a second on the floor to adjourn. All those in favor by uplifting a hand? Meeting is adjourned.